Welcome my dear listeners. Stay with me to get the spoilers first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on Royal Family. Catherine and William go to the Easter service at Windsor with King Charles. This year, after two quieter Easter Sundays at Windsor, Catherine and William went back to the royal family's most well-known spring tradition. They arrived at St. George's Chapel with their three children and stood next to King Charles III and Queen Camilla in a public display of continuity that felt both comforting and carefully planned. The King and Queen went to the traditional Easter service on April 5, 2026 along with Prince William, Catherine and their kids, according to Reuters. ABC News said that this was the first time the Wales family had been to the royal Easter service since 2023, when Catherine was diagnosed with cancer and had to miss the last two. Easter at Windsor is never just another trip to church for the royal family. It is one of the most public events on the royal calendar and a chance to show that the family is still rooted in faith, ceremony, and continuity, even when everything else in public life seems unstable. Reuters said that the Easter Matins service is an important part of the King's job as the Supreme Governor of the Church of England. This year it was even more important because the Wales family return made the future of the monarchy more visible next to the current reign. The picture of Charles, Camilla, William and Catherine together told a simple story. The heart of the institution is still there and it still knows how to act with discipline. The message was also in the arrival itself. Reuters said that Christopher Coxworth, the Dean of Windsor, welcomed Charles and Camilla when they got there. ABC News published the AP picture of the Prince and Princess of Wales walking in with Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. The formal greeting and family procession together make Windsor Easter feel so special. It's public but not showy, and it's traditional but not stuck in time. Catherine and William's kids were there too. This showed that the Wales family is increasingly showing the monarchy as a living, intergenerational story rather than just a structure with older faces. It was especially meaningful to see Catherine back at the service because she hadn't been there in the last 2 years because of a serious personal issue. ABC News said that the Wales family missed the last two Easter Sundays at Windsor because Catherine was being remission. In that setting, the day has more emotional depth than a typical royal event. It wasn't just the return of a senior royal, it was the return of a woman whose public life had been cut short by illness. She now re-entered on the family's most important traditions with calm, composure, and a sense of continuity. William's part in the service was just as important, Reuters said. He was Charles' oldest son and the next in line for the throne. His presence next to the king made the line of succession clearer, which is something the royal family often likes to do without saying it out loud. There is no need for speeches to explain the importance of this public appearance. The family walks together, the church doors open, and the crowd sees the picture and gets the message. In a monarchy based on symbols, the simplest picture can have the most power. William and Catherine standing with Charles and Camilla gave the impression of stability at a time when the royal family has had to deal with both recovery and change. The kids made the day more fun and less formal. According to ABC News, Prince George is 12, Princess Charlotte is 10, and Prince Louis is 7. Reuters said that the families arrived at St. George's Chapel with their three kids. People always pay close attention to how they look, but on Easter it serves a bigger purpose. It reminds people that the Wales family is not just a constitutional unit, but also a young family growing up in the crown's traditions. People are still very interested in William and Catherine because they are both similar and have a duty to them. They stand for both the institution and the version of it that still seems possible to get to. Were also some notable absences which told their own story. Reuters said that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was not there after going to last year's Easter gathering with Sarah Ferguson. ABC News also said that Andrew and his two daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, were not at the service. Reuters said that Andrew had been arrested in February on suspicion of misconduct in public office, and ABC said that he had been arrested and released without charge after the US Justice Department released documents showing that he had been in contact with Jeffrey Epstein. This made their absence even more noticeable. Those things have made Andrew very uncomfortable for the rest of the royal family, and Easter at Windsor made that clear. Things were more complicated when it came to Beatrice and Eugene. Reuters said that the princesses chose not to go to the service, not Charles. ABC News said that a royal source confirmed this and that the decision would not necessarily change future royal engagements. That difference is important. It seems that the king wasn't publicly pushing his nieces to break up, even though the family situation made it less likely to everyone would be able to go to Windsor. To put it another way, the royal family seems to be carefully keeping Andrew out of the public eye, while still letting younger members of the family come and go as needed. That carefully line was clear all day long. Reuters said that Prince Edward and Princess Anne were also there, along with their other royals. This made the service feel like a smaller but still large family gatherings. This was important because the monarchy has been showing itself more and more through its most reliable workers, and Easter 2026 fit that pattern perfectly. Charles and Camilla were in charge. William and Catherine strengthened the future. Anne and Edward filled in the reliable middle, and the troubled York wing stayed away. The visual effect wasn't very strong, but it was clear. It looked like a family that knew exactly which faces it wanted the world to see. Royal watchers loved to notice little things, and even the end of the service had one of those. After the service, Charles and Camilla told the crowd Happy Easter, and Camilla was given a bouquet of flowers. And according to Reuters, these are small things that happen every day, but they are important in royal coverage because they show the human side of the ceremony. The king was not just a constitutional figure going into chapel, he was also a grandfather, husband, and public host who greeted the people outside the gates. The monarchy has used that mix of formality and warmth to stay alive for a long time. The day also showed how important Catherine's presence has become to the royal image. When she comes, the event feels more complete, not just because of her rank but also because she brings balance to the family that is hard to take. ABC News said that the Wales family's return was a big part of the service, and that's why people paid attention. Catherine's return after treatment isn't just a side note, it's a part of the monarchy's present tense. Her calm arrival with William and the kids does more than just fill a pew. It calms the public that has gotten used to seeing the royal family deal with personal problems behind formal appearances. Easter 2026 was also a chance for Charles to show that he was steady after a time when the royal spotlight was mostly on health, succession, and family problems. Reuters stressed that the service is a big part of his schedule as the Supreme Governor of the Church of England, which makes it more than just a symbol. It's part of the job, but in a year when the Wales family's return got as much attention as the service itself. The service became a picture of the monarchy as it is now, the king and queen in front, the heir and his wife close behind, the younger generation visible, and the family branches that caused the most trouble safety out of its side. The frame is what made the gathering in Windsor feel so important. It wasn't a coronation, a state event, or a response to a crisis. It was quieter and, in some ways, more revealing. The family came, the future stood next to the present, the kids were there, the doors to the church opened, people in the crowd watched, and for one morning, the monarchy looked orderly enough to make it seem like its center still holds. Everyone remembered that not every branch stays close to the tree. When Andrew, Beatrice, and Eugene were not there, however, Catherine and William's return showed that the branch that matters most of the institution is still firmly in place. And here's the part that really lingers up that the camera stopped rolling. Something shifted and you couldn't feel it. This wasn't just a family showing up for Easter, it felt like a quiet reset of the monarchy's image, almost like a reminder of who stands at the center when everything else gets uncertain. In my view, the message was subtle but powerful. The crown isn't just surviving difficult times, it's carefully choosing who represents its future, and that choice is becoming clearer with every appearance. Catherine's return added more than elegance, it brought reassurance. The kind people don't always notice until it's missing. And now that she's back, the balance feels restored. But for how long? Because here's the real question no one is going saying out loud. If this is the new normal, then what happens to the parts of the family that don't fit into this picture anymore? And even more importantly, is this unity where seeing truly healing, or is it simply a perfectly staged moment before the next wave of royal tension rises again? Looking ahead, I think we are going to see even more focus on this core groove, fewer phases, tire control, and stronger messaging, which could mean stability on the surface but deeper divides behind the scenes. So now I'm curious, what you think? Did this Easter feel like genuine unity to you, or more like a carefully managed image? And do you believe this slimmed down royal circle will actually protect the monarchy, or quietly push others further away? Stay with me, because the next royal moment might not be as calm as this one, and when it happens, we'll break it down together.